Hi, this is JJ Smith Medium, and welcome to this week's episode of Spirit Stories, the weekly wow. This week, I met with a gentleman by the name of Trey, and when he came in, he was really struggling with the passing of his mom. And I think one of the biggest reasons that he alluded to was that he didn't feel like he had done enough for her when she was alive, like toward the end. And it was really sweet. When people come in, I have them bring something that belonged to their loved one that they would like to connect with. I can't control what spirit shows up, but it seems that it helps with alerting the spirit that you would like to talk to. And that's actually called psychometry. And so I had Trey bring something of his mother's because he said that's who he was wanting to connect to. And it was a piece of jewelry and I'm holding it. And I said to him, she keeps showing me a picture of herself sitting at a vanity table. Would that make sense? And he said, yes. And I said, I feel like she really cared about her appearance when she was alive. And he said, absolutely. She was always dressed immaculately. She always looked perfect. Like she would not leave the house unless all of her makeup was done, her hair was done. And so as we continued to talk, she was, sometimes we inflict so much pain on ourselves for no reason, right? Like we have these ideas in our head that doesn't necessarily always ring true to how spirit felt. And I find that's what really gives people so much just peace and closure when they do a reading, is because Trey had been beating himself up for a year that he didn't do enough for his mom. And she's showing me all of these wonderful things. Like she's showing me a picture. So while she's at that vanity table of him doing her hair. And I said to him, did you used to do her hair? And he said, yeah, I did. I learned how to do it. Like I went to her hairdresser and had the hairdresser teach me how to do my mom's hair because she wasn't able to leave the house anymore. She couldn't get out of the house. But that was something that made her feel together, right? It gave her her dignity when she was sick at the end. So here's a 57-year-old man who went to the hairdresser to have them teach him how to do his mom's hair. And that meant the world to her. The fact that she was showing me that happening in my mind's eye while we were doing the reading, and I was able to relate to him these pictures that I was seeing, that he truly went from being like upset and crying to being like laughing, right? We were laughing. Like I said, what kind of 57-year-old man does his mom's hair? Like that's such a kindness to do for the person you love. And it obviously meant the world to her. And so as we continued with that reading, he was super happy. And then he hadn't mentioned to me that he had lost a brother in a boating accident. So I didn't know anything about that. And when we're finished talking to his mom, I said, there is a male presence trying to step forward and I feel like he was a brother to you. Did you lose a brother? And he said, yes. And I said, and he's wearing one of those hats that's like a Gilligan's hat, right? And he said, yes, that would make sense. Because he was so into boating. That was his thing. And then all of a sudden, I felt like I couldn't breathe. And when that happens, depending on where it is, this was in my throat. If it's lower, like in my chest, that typically alludes to like lungs or heart, but it was in my throat where I felt like I couldn't swallow and I couldn't breathe. And so then I had asked Trey, did he pass in a boating accident or he drowned? That's why I said he drown? And he said, yes, it was in a boating accident. So then all the pieces start coming together, right? And by the time we were done, I mean, he was laughing. He was like, I felt like I had a family reunion today, right? I talked to my mom, I talked to my dad, I talked to my brother. Basically, I'm the only one left on this side, but it felt amazing, like a family reunion. And I'd really, really been missing him because his dad and his brother had been gone an awfully long time. So that's one of the greatest things, in my opinion, for me with what I do. And the reason I love it so much and how it'll be something that I do the rest of my life is because when I sit down with people, I can actually feel that they are lighter after we have done a reading or after we've done a session versus how they felt when they came in. So I'm pretty confident I'll be seeing Trey again in the future. And that's this week of the Weekly Wow of Spirit Stories. I appreciate you joining me, and feel free to visit my website at jjsmithmedium.com. And if you'd like to book an appointment, that would be the place that you want to schedule it. Look forward to seeing you soon and catch you next week. Bye.